Hey guys, hey, today we're at the Goodwill Outlet store, commonly known as the Bins, and I am off to the book section. And yeah, it was a good day at the books today. I was excited with what I found, so be sure to stay tuned for the haul, which will be at the end of this video. And I'm doing a voiceover today because they had the music going very loud, so I don't want any copyright strikes, right? So in this case, I found this book. It's one of 2 volume set, so I'm putting it in my cart because I'm going to keep looking for the other volume. As I dig through here, this is like, I believe, yeah, it's American Girl Doll, but unfortunately, there were ripped pages on the inside. Otherwise, I would have picked that one up. I've talked about American Girl Doll books before. And then there were this one, pages coming out of the book. But I put it in the cart anyway. There's actually a set of 3 of those, and I ended up not picking them up because they were all in terrible condition. Here I am looking at another book. Many times I just grab them, throw them in my cart. Sometimes I look at them. It depends on how many people were looking at the bins, and actually there was no one else in the book bins besides me today. So and so we continue to sort through the books. Hit a lot of great older books, plus some good quality collectible books. I suppose all just modern books. You can find some kids' books as well. Yeah, so it's good. Here's one. I actually picked this one up, Isaac Denison's. I'll talk about that in the haul video. This is another one I picked up. This is actually a religious book. Yeah. So, religious books sell. And this was an early edition of one. There's another one. I was so excited because, you know, I can't get there when they open anymore because I'm working full time. So on Fridays I work a half a day. So I go and I get there about 12:30, and they had all of these vintage books. Many times it's so picked over by that point there's not much left, but they had a lot of great books for me to go through. I was so excited, and I know that sometimes they switch out the book bins during the day. Usually they do it overnight, so that's why by this time it's picked over, but I do think they switched it out early today because there's a lot of great books. And here's a picture of how crazy it is. It was very busy this particular day. And here's I found out when I was working at the Pink Elephant that those Christmas bears were a trend this year. I'm not sure if they're going to be for 2023, but for Christmas 2022 they were. A lady came in and bought 2 of them, saying that people are collecting them again. So I guess they're, you know, that they always say that, you know, 25, 50, 100 year cycles, and those Christmas bears are hitting that 25-year cycle, because I found one from 1994 and 2000, so they're apparently coming back. You know, they're not selling for big money yet, but yeah, people are looking for them, so what can you do? And here I'm just going through more of the household. They really were severely picked over today. Even the new ones they brought out did not have much merchandise in them. They were pretty empty for what they used to be like. And most of it was stuffed animals or electronics. So they had their themes today. Nothing that excited me too much. So yeah, you won't see many household or vintage items in my haul besides books, because that was the item today. And it's funny how it goes, you know, in cycles like that. Some days I find almost no books. Other days, like today, where you find a good lot of them. Some days you don't find any hard goods, and other days you find tons of it. And that is the biggest woven basket I'd ever seen. I don't know what you do with that. First I thought, is that a car top carrying? It was huge. You could set it on your ottoman or something, I suppose, but yeah, it was big. Here's another one of those Christmas bears. Hey guys, I'm popping in here before we get into the haul part of this video. I wanted to give a shout out to another YouTuber, and he's right at the brink of hitting 1,000 subscribers. So if we could run over and show him some love, I will put a link to his YouTube channel down below. It's John from the Small Time Booksellers, I think is what it is. I'm trying to go off of memory. It's a long channel, but I'll have the link down below. So if you guys could go down, hit the subscribe button for him and pop him over that 1,000 subscriber mark, that would be awesome. If you love books, that's all he deals with, and he doesn't do the, shop with me videos or anything. It's just his books, what he sells, and he talks about each edition that he sells and where he picks them up. Most of them he gets at the Goodwill bins in Texas, by the way. So that'd be great. Thanks, guys. Now on to the haul. Hello, everyone. It's Clay from Clay's Collections, back again with another Goodwill bins haul. Mostly books. Yes, that's what I'm dealing a lot in lately, and I think we found some good books. I really have not looked up any of these yet as far as value, but again, most of them I anticipate a $5 to $10 value for the majority of them. And when you pay by the inch, it's a good deal. Anyway, if you're new to the channel, welcome. Thank you so much. I am a part-time retailer. I actually work full-time. Went back to work. I used to do reselling full-time. Now I'm back to work full-time. So I have to scale way back. So I deal mostly in books and kitchen/glassware type items. And I do have an eBay store still, although I am winding that down and selling much less on eBay. And most of it I sell through the antique store that I have a booth at, which is the Pink Elephant in downtown Hopkins, Minnesota. So if you're in the area, come on down and check it out. So let's just get into this haul. One of the books, I found this. It's the Ford 1954 Almanac for Farm, Ranch, and Home. An annual review of practical, scientific, and helpful information on farming, ranching, and country living. So it's a little reference book. Talks about cattle, crops, sorry, I got distracted by this. Yeah, Canadians cross cattle and buffalo. Canadian research have developed the catalo. So where I grew up, when you did that, we called it a beefalo. Take your pick, I guess. So yeah, so there you go. Pigs eat bananas, people eat corn. Australian rabbits pests. Almost actually looks like it's got a lot of fun information in it. Anyway, sorry, I got distracted with the book. I do well at selling these little golden books. This one's David and Goliath. I usually pick them up if they're not written in. Oh, I didn't even notice this. Ooh, that's bad. The back cover is pretty stripped. But anyway, another children's book, Sam and the Firefly. This one is in excellent condition. It's not written in. That's a fun children's book. And I think we had another children's book. Cindy and I are working. I did pick up this bag. We do a Backpacks for the Homeless program, and we're actually getting together next week with a group of other people to make up the backpacks where we've been picking up all of these supplies, and then we get together and we put them together. So we put them in bags like this, that can be a backpack type bag or actual backpacks, although backpacks are a little harder, whereas these, they can use them for many different things. So I actually went looking for these and only found one, but I found a bunch of books. But Cindy and I are going again Monday, so hopefully we can find some more. I found this 45 record. It's called The Rascals. There's two sides to it. One is See and the other is Away and Away. So I have no idea if it's worth anything. It's from 1969 and it is in excellent condition. The record itself, and even the sleeve, is in pretty good condition. So I usually sell 45s like that for like $1 to $2 down at the Pink Elephant. And then I found this one backpack or it was actually a camera case, I found out, but it had several lenses in it, in the boxes. So they didn't clean out the camera case completely. And there's a little filter. Actually, I think these are filters too. Yeah, these are filters, not lenses, sorry. So I was like, okay. Because again, they weigh almost nothing. They're super light. So, well, I'll pick them up. And if nothing else, I'll give them, and I have a good friend of mine, Dustin from McFlickmanship. If you haven't seen his channel, I give him a bunch of stuff to sell, especially stuff like that I don't want to deal with. Okay, so back to the books. This one, it's called Girl from the Marsh Croft by Lagerlof. Never heard of it. But what caught my attention is the fact that it's a customized spine. It says Berkeley Public Library on it. So this particular book was at the Berkeley Library in Berkeley, California. Berkeley Public Library. This says there's one stamp from April 1927, another from April 1932. So this book had been in that library, and it's also got the perforated stamp at the bottom. The book is from 1910. So it's a nice older book. And I thought, well, that's a nice provenance. Going back to Berkeley, California, the public library. But I've never seen it customized like that. So they either had this book rebound at some point, which I believe they probably did. And the reason I say that, we'll do a little book exploration here. See this canvas tape here? And then if you pull the page open, you can see how the canvas tape is there. And this page has a crease. So it tells me that this book was rebound at some point. So that's why they probably had, at that time, they probably had their own in-house bindery service. So they did it themselves, or had a local binder that they contracted out to. Bindery. But anyway. Oh, some days. Picked up this, again, in my other videos I've talked about local interest. Minneapolis is the illustrated history of Minneapolis. It was originally listed for $28 and then marked down to $10, but it's a local book. And again, I'll probably put $10 on it. So I don't know. Alexa is going off in the other room. I have no idea why. And she's going off in Spanish, which is even funnier. My wife speaks Spanish to it sometimes. Now she's playing music. Some days. Alexa's a little spooky. The Edge of Day by Lori Lee. This one has the original dust jacket. Never heard of this book, but I just love the dust jacket. So I thought, well, I'll grab it. 1960. A Boyhood in the West of England. Alexa, off. Sorry about that. All right. So, it's an English book. It's about the English countryside growing up. Still higher for his highest, Oswald Chambers. Many of you have My Utmost for his highest, right? That's a very famous book. This is a sequel, second book. Still has its dust jacket. And this one is first edition, 5th printing, 1970. So it's an pretty early copy. This one I bought for the cover. This is Young Trail Hunters. It's a juvenile book, and it's from 1904. Young Trail Hunters or The Wild Riders of the Plains. So it's a novel for young boys. It's what its original intended audience was. Sinclair Lewis. This one is The King's Blood Royal. Again, I like to have major authors. Sinclair Lewis is a major author. copyright 1947, first edition. No dust jacket, but it's in great condition. It does have some writing. It says property of Marie Hemingway, 1947. So, and then I did get a whole set. It's not the complete set because I only have 8. I think it was 8, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, just 8. And I know there's at least 12 volumes because I have, but it's called The Wit and Humor of America. And I haven't looked to see what editions I have in 10 volumes. Okay, so I have 8 out of the 10. And this was published in 1897. Wow, I didn't realize they were quite that old. Sweet. But again, they got the paper labels on them. So, all right. So there's that set I got. Which I haven't looked any of these up to know if they're worth anything. Marlowe, Shakespeare. I picked these up. This is the Harvard Classics. Now this happens to be the registered edition, which means it's of a little higher caliber. This is original copyright from 1910, but this is the 61st printing in 1968. Harvard Classics has been printing. This is a deluxe edition. Been printing for many years, and people collect the whole sets from different years, so it's always a good pickup for resale. This is Science and Health with Key to the Scriptures by Mary Baker Eddy. Again, an old book. Somebody's donated somebody's old book collection. This is from 1917, original copyright 1903. This is by the first Church of Christ scientist. You guys will, some of you may be familiar with that. The Odyssey by Homer. Again, this is a the Classics Club, an inexpensive edition, but I like having major titles on my shelves because again, some people like to just collect the whole series. This one, the Book of Literature, I was really disappointed I could not find volume 2. This is volumes 31 and 32. This particular set is the Book of Literature, complete anthology, 2 volumes in 1, volumes 31 and 32. Now why? I'm assuming they had a whole series, and this particular one is dealing with the book, with literature. And it was probably like an entire encyclopedia set, and these were editions of 31 and 32. So these are from 1923, or this one, and it's in excellent condition for the age. It definitely sat on somebody's shelf with very little use. It's got the beautiful sepia toned print in there too. It's called Landscape in Brittany. That's in England. Beautiful book. All right, couple more. The Lord's Anointed by McKee. I don't pick up novels too often, but this one was A Novel of Hawaii by Ruth McKee. So it just appealed to me. Again, it's in great shape. It's 1934. So it's pre-war, just before World War II. And I love the spine. It's got a great graphic. All right. Oh, what do we got? That's all of those. That's all of those. Oh, yeah. Oh, I forgot about that one. I'm excited about that one. It's not in the best of shape, but I'm excited about it. And I'll show you in a sec. This is another Winter Tales by Isaac Denison. This one is 1942. And some of you will recognize one of his other books, which is Out of Africa. Was his more famous novel, more because of the movie. So this is another one of his novels. So well known, at least for one book. All right. Two books at the end, which I think are the most valuable. This is the Treasury of World Masterpieces. This is the Mark Twain. So it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 novels plus short stories. It's complete and unabridged. Beautiful marbleized paper in the beginning. It's got the gilding on the edge of the papers. So this is a quality publication. This was put out by Octopus Books Limited. This particular book was issued in 1981. So it's 40 years old. It's in great condition, with the exception of a little bit of marks along the gold gilding, which is normal. And some of these probably happen in the bins, because you know how when they're piled up, as you can see from the videos, and you got to sort through them, they get nicked and dinged. But this is a great book. I'll probably have $20 to $25 on this particular book. And then my all-time best-selling books of all period, especially at the Pink Elephant, well, it's the only place I've sold them, is Nancy Drew. And I sell them for $4. And I usually have the editions from the 50s, 60s, 70s, and 80s is the most common that you find. And those are the ones I pick up, and those are the ones I sell for around $4. I usually find them pretty inexpensive. I have found a couple that are from the 40s, and those are a little better. I happened to find a very first edition of The Clue of the Broken Locket by Carolyn Keene. God, I love that. Those beautiful pages. It is copyright 1934 by Grosset and Dunlap. She had written 1, 2, 3. She must have written more before this one. They only list 3 in the beginning. But yes, so this is The Clue of the Broken Locket. Now, the problem with this book is the spine. The spine is missing and it's broken. It does have some water spotting. The interior pages, while discolored, are complete. They actually are not even, only here is there a little break at the top where the paper's cut a little bit. And there is an inscription in the big front. But I was really surprised to find this. Excited. And again, there's wear at the bottom of the spine too. So this book was well loved. So yeah, I have no idea the value. I will have to look that up to see what that's all about. But anyway, that's our book haul from the Goodwill bins today. Hope you guys are doing well, and we'll catch you next time.